From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 5th, 2019. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reportedly said that Likud primaries would take place on December the 22nd if no government is formed before then. That's according to a report from Israel's Channel 12. The primaries would be to challenge Netanyahu for leadership of the Likud party, efforts being led by former Education Minister Gideon Sa'ar, who called for the primaries, hoping to unseat the prime minister. Israel's Channel 12 reported yesterday that Israel's President Reuven Rivlin is considering a pardon for Netanyahu if he leaves political life and admits to the charges he is accused of bribery, fraud, and breach of trust. There has been no confirmation of this report or response from the Prime Minister to it. Netanyahu, meanwhile, today is wrapping up his visit to Lisbon, where he met with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. The two addressed the Iranian threat and other issues, and Netanyahu also took the opportunity to thank the Secretary of State for his recent announcement of the U.S. policy reversal on Israeli settlements. I'm Teisha Bader. Israeli media reported, citing Palestinian media, on recent efforts to reach a prisoner exchange with terror group Hamas in Gaza. Musa Dudin, who is a member of the Hamas political bureau, was cited as saying that Egypt led the efforts with Qatar, Turkey, Germany, and Sweden, and he blamed Israel for lack of progress, saying that Israel was refusing to release the prisoners it rearrested in the 2011 Gilad Shalit deal. In the Shalit deal, if you recall, 1,000 Palestinian terrorists and prisoners were released in return for Gilad Shalit. Dudin himself was released in that deal. He also claimed that the current political situation in Israel was an obstacle to the whole process. Hamas has been holding the remains of two IDF soldiers, Hadar Golden and Oron Shaul, for 5 years, as well as holding two living Israeli citizens, Avira Mengistu and Hisham al-Sayed. Israel's chief negotiator on the matter, Yaron Blum, said earlier this month that efforts were ongoing, but that Hamas is not yet ripe for a deal. Its demands, he said, are crazy. It doesn't understand that the Israeli public has changed, and there will not be a second Shalit deal. A potential prisoner exchange is also said to be holding up efforts in Egypt to reach an agreement regarding a long-term ceasefire between Israel and Hamas. The United Nations General Assembly passed a number of resolutions against Israel on Tuesday, among them a resolution on the quote-unquote division for Palestinian rights, which promotes the Palestinian narrative against Israel. It did pass by a wide margin, but 13 countries who up until now and for decades have always abstained on it voted against it. They are Germany, the Czech Republic, Austria, Bulgaria, Denmark, Estonia, Greece, Lithuania, the Netherlands, Romania, and Slovakia. Israel's Foreign Minister Yisrael Katz said on Tuesday this is an important step in the long struggle against the bias toward Israel at the UN. What particularly stands out, he said, is the change in the position of several European Union states, and I hope that the remaining EU members will adopt this position soon. An Israeli startup that has sped up the blood testing process has received FDA approval. Sight Diagnostics now has the U.S. Food and Drug Administration's clearance to market its Olo blood test device that can render results of a complete blood count test from 2 quick finger pricks in just 10 minutes. Sight said the approval will allow hospital labs, diagnostic providers, and outpatient clinics to use the device. Well, comedian and actress Tiffany Haddish celebrated her 40th birthday this week and her bat mitzvah. Haddish only found out about her Jewish roots when she met her father for the first time at the age of 27, and he told her that he was an Eritrean Jew. She told the Jewish website Alma that she knew nothing about Judaism prior to that, though while working at bar and bat mitzvahs, getting the guests on their feet and dancing as an energy producer, she started learning more and more about the Torah. She said, I could really relate to it, and when I met my father, it really resonated with me. I was like, this is what I am. I did my 23andMe, and it said the same thing. I thought, well, I can't deny this. I want to claim it. Haddish's Netflix special Black Mitzvah, where she talks about her Judaism, was released on her bat mitzvah day Tuesday. The ceremony, by the way, was overseen by Rabbi Susan Silverman, sister of comedian Sarah Silverman, with a star-studded guest list including Billy Crystal and Barbra Streisand. Mazel tov. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, December the 5th. At 7 o'clock, it's Talmud Study. Then at 8, author Tuvia Tenenbaum sits with David Afun at the Center for Jewish History. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Professor Mordechai Kedar on L'chaim. At 10, Rahima Abdulalim, Imam Mohammed Magid, and Rabbi David Walpe of the Muslim Jewish Advisory Council talk about how they are jointly advocating on issues of common concern. That's from the recent American Jewish Committee Global Forum. And coming up right after this newscast is Israel in Style. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 5th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.